Well, I think it's a good thing. As a parent, I think it's really important because we have lost a ton of things in this area with our schools, whether it be things that are specifically for our students, whether it be extracurricular or even things curricular. I really don't want to see it where we continually lose programs because of funding problems. The Illinois State has not done a very good job budgeting. Our budget continually gets cut, and this is something that as a local community, we can start helping our schools with. I think a lot of people are afraid when you hear the word tax, that when you think of things like property taxes and you hear taxes in things that are purchased, it does push a lot of people off. I think a lot of people also are really trying to put pressure on the state government to help do what they're supposed to be doing. It may not be happening. So those types of things really get people nervous. I think finally that a lot of people are afraid of what the money is going to be done or what's going to be done with the money. That you put something like this out there that it will help raise revenue, well, without a real specific thing. And I think there's a lot of people that don't understand what this money actually goes towards. I'd like to see things that can be used in the community. A new track would be one of those things. As a track coach, that would also be helpful, but it is things that the community can use as well. We've seen in a lot of neighboring school districts that those types of things are really important, because that is more important than anything else, is that the school district is part of the community.
I think the 1% sales tax is a fair tax that's going to help out everybody in the Carroll County community, not just the West Carroll School District, but Eastland and Milledgeville, Chadwick. I'd like to see the money go to improving the infrastructure. I mean, the high school that we're sitting in here now was built in the early 1950s, and it just needs some updating. It needs some tender loving care, and if we could put that money and update the buildings, we can keep them going and keep them going for another 70 plus years. I just don't think people understand what the tax is about, how they'll be taxed, where the tax money is going to be spent. I mean, it shares the burden amongst everybody and anybody who visits the community. It shares the wealth with all three school districts, and it's just one that you probably won't feel as much as an increased property tax or any other tax.
The Carroll County facility sales tax, better known as the 1% sales tax, is a great way to share in the responsibility of helping fund adequate facilities for our students. West Carroll just had their 10-year health, life, safety inspection done as mandated by the state, and in that report we're going to be mandated to make improvements to all of our facilities. We need to come up with funds in order to make that happen. And the 1% sales tax is a great way to make sure that we have income at our disposal without having to raise property taxes. West Carroll has some newer facilities. West Carroll Middle School, I believe, was built in 1998. West Carroll Primary School is newer relatively. I use that term loosely. And then also West Carroll High School, originally built in the 1950s with some additions over the years. There's some wear and tear on our facilities, and we certainly need to do some updates, and some of those are going to be mandated to us through our 10-year health, life, safety survey, and those are going to need to be addressed. And so certainly this money can be used for immediate needs as well as for future needs, and even helping to pay down some of our current debt that we've accrued over the years maintaining our facilities. asking for is 1 cent out of every dollar that you spend on certain items, not all items. And we're asking that our visitors to Carroll County help ease that burden on our taxpayers, that our visitors who come to our local gas stations, our restaurants, that they'll help us make the much needed improvements that we need. The county facility sales tax will be used for facilities, as its name implies. And so I want to make sure that people seeing this video understand that it won't go towards a raise for me or anyone else, but directly tied to our facilities and making sure that our current students' needs are met and that they have a great learning environment for years to come.
I support the 1% facility sales tax because visitors to our county would help support our schools. And if the 1% facility sales tax was passed by the voters, then we would be able to gain money from people on the outside that are coming through our county. And also, by voting yes, the revenue would offset the rising costs to homeowners in our district. At West Carroll Middle School, students would benefit from air conditioning as well as other schools in the district that need air conditioning. I would also like to save money, so when we need repairs, we have some money saved and ready for those repairs when needed. I think the 1% facility sales tax is needed for Carroll County. Our buildings will continue to need repairs and updates. I think people believe that students and staff can do without. But the reality is that when a building needs repaired, whether it be a roof or a boiler system, that the repairs have to happen. So it's better to be prepared for something than to have to act in an emergency situation. Also, I think that since 2 of our counties, our neighboring counties, have already passed the 1% facility sales tax, I think it's time that we help support our schools and they help support our schools, because when we leave our county, we're supporting their schools.
Well, I definitely think the money from it will help our students. It will help improve our facilities. Some of our buildings are very old and need improvements. Think specifically in my building, I know, the other 2 buildings are much older. And really there are safety issues, especially like at the high school building. So definitely just improvement and just make areas all, safe for students. My building in particularly, we could use some new urinals, roof repairs, sidewalk repairs, some playground, the bottom of our playground, so that we can kind of trade that out, put some rubber matting down and such. So the money from this sales tax increase will certainly help. I think maybe in the past maybe there wasn't enough information out there. I think perhaps folks didn't understand what it would be used for, specifically to really improve the buildings for our students and to make our students safe again. And I think that maybe that message wasn't really clear, that that's what that money would go toward. I really hope that it passes, and I hope that we can do what's best for kids and put all our other feelings aside other than to do what's right for them.